Hey, how's it going? Let's get this pickaxe enchanted. We're shooting for fortune, unbreaking, efficiency. We've got 61 lapis and infinite XP because we built the mob farm. Let's see if we can get it done. I am not having the best luck. Efficiency 4, unbreaking 3, and fortune 2. Couldn't just give us the fortune 3. I think I'm going to keep trying. We're only about halfway through our stack of lapis. I really want to get fortune 3 specifically. Honestly, I could settle for a lower efficiency or unbreaking, and we can just use the pick to mine the important resource. I don't think I want to settle for less than fortune 3. We'll keep at it. Well, that was easy. It's like the next enchant. Fortune 3, efficiency 4, unbreaking 3. It's perfect. It's exactly what we wanted. Now, we're going to go mining. We're going to get a bunch of diamonds, hopefully. Once we get some diamonds, we'll make our tools, the rest of our tools, I should say, and then we'll start building out the village and bringing some villagers into the town. Let's go get to work. Alright, our first diamond strip mining with our brand new fortune pickaxe. Let's see how lucky we can get. Oh! What have you got to that? Well, what do we got here? Oh! Oh! Well, not bad for our first little pocket here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Wow. I'm not sure that I've ever... Oh, it just keeps going. Well, we're not going to have to mine for very long, I don't think. Looks like we're going to get most of our tools done almost immediately. This is literally... I came down into this mine shaft and started digging out straight from our drop. So the lava we found down that way. But I wanted to make the center mine shaft first, where all my branches are going to come off of. So I dropped down, just started tunneling this way. I hadn't even really started branching yet because I like to kind of make a long tunnel first and then make my branches off of that. And we found this absolute massive haul of diamonds. This is insane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus 8, 13 diamond blocks. Let's see what we actually get out of this thing. I'm hollowing this out because I think we have to. It's going to destroy the aesthetics of our perfectly clean strip mine, but we'll repair the walls afterwards. One thing I don't know if Minecraft gets enough credit for is its sound design. Every time they add a new block now, it has such a satisfying breaking sound. Alright, 13 diamond blocks, fortune 3 pickaxe. Let me know down in the comments. How many are we going to get? 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay. Never mind, 14 diamond blocks. Alright. That looked like a lot. We better check this though, because that block was a little bit adjacent, so there's just the slightest chance. No, okay. 14 diamond blocks. I guess that's a decent little chunk, you know. 14 raw iron ore. Alright, we over doubled, so that's good. 33 diamonds. That's enough for our full armor set. So it's 24 for the armor set, I believe, and then you're gonna have 6 and 3 left. So 9 left. Does that make our 2, 3, 6. So yeah, we have enough diamonds to make all of our tools and even a hoe, which is pretty important actually, because I want to get a hoe with fortune to get the leaves so we can work on those spruce trees. Well, my intention was to get a little bit more mining in here, so I think I'm going to keep going, but I mean, we're kind of already done, so we'll just keep mining just to build up some resources while I have a minute, and then yeah, we'll go back, craft some stuff, and enchant all of our new gear after I fix this hole, because we can't be having this big ugly hole in our strip mine. I mean, this is ridiculous. Are these two separate diamond mines? It seems like they're too far apart to be the same one. Oh yeah, they're gonna be two separate ones. Well, I guess we got a pretty decent seed for ores. Or I just picked the absolute perfect spot to start digging. Okay, maybe we ran out a little bit of luck with this one. Is it just one single? Oh, nope, still. That's pretty crazy to have a 14 block diamond vein. Oh, and there's 2 more down here. Right into, oh, 3 more down here. Right into another decent little vein. Well, we no longer have to mine for diamonds for a little while. We should be good there unless we die and lose our stuff. Part of my goal with getting villagers here is I think we're going to make the Tavern keeper our mending seller. I don't know. Lore-wise, I don't know if it makes sense, but I just think it's fitting where Greg is the only real character we've put into our universe yet. It seems like he should be the one to hold the almighty mending book. So I think Greg's going to be our mending salesman. His aesthetic won't really match a tavern either, but that's okay. Well, again, the other diamond ore blocks were right here, so we made it another, I don't know, 15 blocks and had to stop again. We'll keep mining, and I'll check back in if, you know, anything else interesting happens. So I had intended on doing a lot more mining, but we got 4 stacks of cobbled deslate and 49 diamonds. So that was really our only objective. So rather than spend more time collecting deep slate, which I don't really think we're gonna put. The only thing that may involve deep slate is if we put a blacksmith in the town. But other than that, I can't see any other builds involving that dark of a block in the town right now, unless I decide to do like a, I guess it would kind of work for like a slate or shingled roof, but I don't think so. So we're actually just gonna go immediately convert these diamonds into a full set. I already dropped it in the chest. I dropped down to the mid-level and mined some lapis. Did be exposed and didn't mine before because I knew we were gonna get fortune and I didn't want to waste it. So I wanna go back to the enchant our tools, and then I guess we'll start putting together materials and build at least 2 villager houses. Typically I like to have an objective for a building, but I think for a woodcutter village, I think we'll just need some more generic houses. So my goal is by episode 10 that we start moving into the next village. I don't know if I love how shiny this shader pack makes the armors, but you know, it's also this. I keep forgetting to break this stupid torch right in the middle of the room. Every time I do a replay mod footage, I'm like, why is that torch there? I put it there to dig out the room and I just never picked it up. We've got our tools, we've got our armor, 2 stacks of lapis. Hopefully that's enough. We're not going to get perfect enchants on all the tools right now, but we can at least get good enough and get ourselves really set up to collect more materials, which means in the next few episodes we can do a lot more building because we'll have a lot less time spent grinding resources. So I'm gonna head back over to the spawner and start enchanting this stuff up. Alright, let's see how we did. So we got Aqua Affinity, which was like the most important one for me because when you're mining like sand and clay and just underneath the water, it's pretty nice to have that. Also, Respiration is huge. If you ever want to build something underwater, we'll want that. Protection 4, I like to have like Protection and Fire Protection kind of spread out. Typically, I would actually like to have like Blast Protection, Fire Protection, and a Protection to just kind of cover all my bases so I'm not getting one shot by a creeper or something like that. But, you know, we can't go for perfect right now, so Unbreaking Protection, Unbreaking Fire Protection. We got Depth Strider on the boot, so we'll be able to swim fast too as well. Again, following the theme, I kind of want to build something in that bay at some point. I have an idea cooking I'm not quite ready to disclose. And only Protection 3. We do have some Lapis left, but I don't think there's really... it's worth our time to perfect all these enchants right now. We got the Power 4, Unbreaking 3 bow. We got a Silk Touch pickaxe with no efficiency on it, but we'll probably only use that to grab specific blocks that we want to Silk Touch. Sharpness 4 and looting. I like Sweeping Edge and Unbreaking there, but we got looting, which is the important one, so we can, you know, gather resources. Fortune, we already saw that. Efficiency 5, or Efficiency 4 and Unbreaking, Efficiency 4 and Unbreaking. Shovel and pickaxe, that's fine. I actually hate Fortune on a shovel because you get all of that flint from gravel. And of course, our bow on the first try, Unbreaking 3, Efficiency 4, Fortune 3. So that is going to be huge getting these spruce trees planted along the perimeter of our town. We're gonna get a lot more saplings, and that's gonna go much faster. Yeah, there it is. We went through about, I'd say maybe a stack and a half of lapis, which isn't too bad. And I didn't time it, but I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 day-night cycles to get all that stuff enchanted. That's pretty good. And I mean, you already saw how easy it was to get all the diamonds, so that was maybe one of the fastest I've ever got kind of geared up. Again, I probably won't wear this armor most of the time because I like to show off my skin, but whenever we are going to do something a little dangerous, or we're going to do something in the water, we'll have this on hand. We did alright on like gunpowder and bones. I've been kind of storing them over here in this chest so that we can bring back a haul to our base. We also got some music discs just from skeletons trying to shoot at me a couple times. We'll grab those. We made a bow, like I said. I'm a unbreaking power mending guy. I understand why infinity exists, but when you have a farm like this, it's not that hard to just throw a stack of arrows in your inventory. And 64 arrows last you a long time unless you're actively fighting something. And 1 arrow or 64 arrows doesn't take up any more inventory slots, so you might as well have more enchants on your bow, in my opinion. Here we go. Gunpowder, bones, we got a random iron ingot. I think the zombies can technically drop them. The most important thing is gunpowder and bones back to base, and then spider eyes and string. If we ever get to villagers, we're gonna want spider eyes for potions. We don't have any carrots at the base yet, and then we don't need chicken really at the base, so I guess we'll grab the iron ingot and the potatoes. I meant to leave books here. I totally forgot. Usually I keep a stack of books in this chest as well so that I can throw a book in and kind of check the enchant. So you like throw the book in. Oh, it's Fortune 3. You throw Fortune 3 on the book if you don't actually need it at that moment, and then you just keep the book. Instead of, you know, putting an enchant on a piece of armor and then just using the grindstone to take it immediately off. But yeah, we're all enchanted up. Let's head back to the town and build a few buildings. And then I think we're going to go down the river. You might actually build this. Well, you could see it from here if it wasn't raining. This village here is right on the water, so we can actually just get a villager in a boat and just take him right down the bay and over towards the village. So that'll be nice. Let's sleep, so it's a safe journey back, and we'll head back to town and start building some houses. Alright, definitely still need some work. I got a little lazy towards the end. A couple of these trees on the end are still the annoying little tuft at the top. We'll clean those up, but I think you're starting to get the image. We might need one more row behind that to really sell that as like a dense forest, but yeah, pretty good from this angle. It's gonna require a lot more work when we finally move over to the mining village in the mountain, because they'll have a different angle and they'll be able to see that this is just, you know, 4 rows of big trees. But I'm pretty happy with it, so now we can move on to building some houses. I just really wanted to get some more work on that. We might do like a little bit of work on that tree line every episode. It's a little tedious and it's a little boring, but I think it's going to really sell the woodcutting village aesthetic. It's actually going to be better to get our villagers before we start building their houses, because we can just get 2 villagers here and breed them up a couple times. So I'm going to go plant some carrots and then build a little temporary structure to breed them inside of. I'll actually grab some cobblestone, just build a nice big box for them to live in. So yeah, we're gonna plant some carrots, get some food ready, and then we'll bring them back here from the village. And then as soon as their houses are done, we can move them right in. That's weird, Bob. I have some of your other leashes. Yeah, you must have dropped them the last time you were here, because I just like found some leashes on the ground. I don't know if I caught this. I think I may have forgot to record this, but I actually planted trees. I didn't do any like work on the path. I just threw down a bunch of saplings on either side of the pathway, just to kind of give this a little bit more of a distinct feel when you're walking down the path towards the mine. I think it helps give it a nice little enclosed feel, which was what I was shooting for. We still gotta spread the grass out there a little bit more and fix up that beach some, but honestly, just putting these trees here, you kind of don't even really notice the totally messed up generation over there. All right, let's go plant these carrots. Then we're gonna hop in the boat and grab a villager and do that 2 times. Oh crap, we need a job block too. So we need a job block. I'm gonna plant these carrots. I got a bunch of bone meal so I can grow them up real quick. And then, yeah, let's go get some villagers. Alright, so we're here in the village. I'm a little concerned by the lack of activity that I'm seeing. I mean, it's not the end of the world, because we do have that other village across the plains, but that is going to be significantly more difficult to transfer villagers from. I was really hoping we could grab 2 villagers from this town, but oh, there's more village up here. Okay, maybe we're not totally out of luck yet. I don't remember spending a lot of time close enough to this village for stuff to be damaged. I hear someone working the fields up here, I think. Oh, no, it's just this cat. I only have cooked fish. I don't think cats like cooked fish, do they? No, doesn't look like they like cooked fish. Oh good, there's villagers up here. Okay, that's not too bad then. There we go. First villager's here. We're gonna put a row of beds in here and throw him some food, but first gotta get his buddy. Their beautiful home. Just kidding. We will build much nicer homes for you. But for now, you know, don't let the darkness bite. Just kidding, I gave him 2 torches. He's fine. He's gonna be totally fine. We'll be right back. It's not even that long. Okay. Well, this is gonna seem a little inhumane, but I mean, that's really just because of the way you're looking at it. We're gonna give them all beds, and we're gonna start producing a few villagers to live in our town. I could truck more over from the village, but I think if we just kind of stay on top of breeding these guys while we're building the houses, that'll probably be good enough. We didn't get as much wool as I thought we were gonna get. Let's go shear some more sheep. I think we're just gonna make, I don't know, gonna have Greg 2 houses and then maybe 2 more to spare. So we need like 5 villagers to get started. Again, we're gonna make Greg our mending villager, I believe, and then I guess Fletcher kind of makes sense. There's not really a woodcutter villager, but if we make them Fletchers, we can trade sticks with them, which kind of makes sense coming out of a woodcutter village. So I'm not really sure why it's not working. There's available beds. They've had food. They even have like the love symbol. Is there a chance that the baby can spawn outside of the walls? I don't see anything. Is it a space issue? Do you guys need more headroom? What am I doing wrong here? Oh, jeez. I guess we'll cycle this guy's trades and just give him a second. We'll wait till night and see if they claim a bed. I do think they need to claim a bed. I don't think they need to sleep in one, so I don't see why they wouldn't have claimed. Hey, you're getting a little close there, my guy. Yeah, I would have thought they would still claim a bed in here, but they might have to actually sleep first. I don't remember there being a space requirement. There needs to be an available bed for them and then also the baby, but again, there are plenty of beds in here. Well, that took way longer than it should have, and I still am not necessarily sure what made it work, but we did create another villager, so that's a good start. I've also broken this lectern quite a few times in the process, and we have not gotten very lucky. We don't necessarily need him to have mending right now, but I've actually been breaking down my spruce logs and just selling them to the Fletcher, and we've almost got a stack of emeralds just kind of trying to get these guys to make more villagers. It's a bit of a brutal start to this portion of the episode, but that's okay because we were successful. I don't know if it was raising the ceiling, or I think it may have actually been fully blocking off this doorway. I think because the trapdoors were there and they thought they could pass through but wouldn't actually fit, it must have been somehow breaking their AI so they wouldn't count these beds. So anyway, successful villager now. We used all of our carrots too on like a million broken breeding attempts. So we're gonna go plant some more carrots, farm them up, and then maybe we'll start building those 2 buildings. Man. Well, we did get mending, and I'm probably gonna regret it, but I really would like to be sub 20 emeralds. I mean, in the long run, you don't need to buy that many mending books, so it's not a big deal, but for this early game portion, it's gonna save us a lot of grinding if we can get mending on a few of our tools, so I think we're gonna push through and try to get a slightly cheaper version. I hope I don't regret this. Minecraft really sticking it to me with a 2 emerald more expensive enchanting. We're too deep now, we've gotta push through. Oh, it finally happened. I literally had to lock it in immediately because I was afraid it was going to disappear. 10 emeralds for 1 mending. It's a great deal. I'm going to go grab some more sticks and some more books and knock those out just in case this guy ends up dying to something stupid. I don't want to lose this opportunity. Knowing my luck, some baby zombie is going to run in there while I'm building these houses, murder him, and I'll never even get to use the trade that I just spent half my life trying to get. Okay, now that whole ordeal is completed. I started laying out some positioning for these buildings, so I want to keep sight lines in mind. and I want the tavern to have a view of the bay. So I don't want to put any buildings directly in front of the tavern, and I want to put buildings close-ish to that sightline, if that makes sense, so that when you're looking out, you know, the edges of your vision are filled, the foreground effectively, if you were taking a picture. So I think putting a building here fills it up nicely, and then in an effort to kind of fill up our path, I'll put another one to the left side of the path here going towards the forest. We may put like some kind of pavilion or gazebo here between these two buildings, but I don't want it to be a dense town. So even honestly, this proximity is probably pretty close to the tavern, but I also want it to feel like a tight, you know, cohesive village. If you spread it out too much and you can't see their buildings, it doesn't really work. So that's my thinking. So we'll build these two buildings first. I'm gonna go for still the kind of wooded rustic theme. I may try to do like a log cabin design on one of these. I've never done that before, but it seems like it would be obvious, no? I don't know. It may or may not work, so you may see me build it twice, because if I hate how it looks when it turns out, I'll just tear it down and build it again. They're pretty small buildings, and they're literally just going to be beds, you know, some very light interior, just a place for our villagers to live, you know, between days when they're working hard in the forest cutting down trees. I collected a bunch of spruce wood when we were cutting down the forest, and we already had a bunch of oak, so we're really kind of already set up to do this. I don't know what I want to do for the roof material on these buildings. That is kind of an open question. I don't love using cobblestone, so we may try to do some kind of like stone slate roof on these buildings. That's undecided. I'm gonna have to let inspiration hit me, but for now I want to build the frame up on these things and get the shape down. They're going to be simple buildings, like I said. They're so small, it's going to be difficult to texture in too much detail, but that's my only concern with doing like logs, like literal logs, is that it'll be more difficult to put in different textures. So we'll have to do a lot more with trapdoors and fences and stuff, but let's see what we can make happen. Oh, also, I don't love this double step down in elevation, so I think we're going to actually fill in... We're definitely going to fill in this hole with dirt, but I think we're actually going to bring this little landing up so that it's only a one step down. I don't hate that it's a change in elevation, but 2 blocks seems a little extreme down off the road. So yeah, let's get to work. Okay, well I think this is another situation of me overestimating how much I could get done. If this thing's gonna get out Monday, we gotta call it at some point, and I think this is where we're gonna call it. As I built this thing, by the way, I'm pretty happy with how it came out. I don't know if I really nailed the log cabin aesthetic. I mean, you can see here with the logs that pass each other. From different angles you can tell. It's not really big enough, especially once I put the roof ridge on there. It really covered up that top log, which I think sold the actual log look a little better, but it didn't necessarily look as good. And again, I don't want these buildings to be very big because they're just, you know, woodworkers in the forest, and this is just a place for them to sleep and cook dinner. I'm pretty happy with how it came out. We've got ourselves a little firewood pile here. Detailing is probably my biggest weakness. A lot of times I throw a lot of stuff at the wall and see what sticks. You see I got some buttons here. I think these buttons here are probably useless. I do like the buttons on the end of these because it breaks up the really white texture on the end of the oak logs. I ended up stripping the spruce because the dark spruce on the lighter oak wood was just too much. I did end up going with a slate roof, like I had talked about, I think, at some point in this episode. So I'm pretty happy with the contrast there. The chimney needs some work. I need to mix in some either tile brick or something. I don't know, something that is similar but different enough. This looks a little bit too much like the roof was shaped into a chimney, which, I mean, I guess is a look. But I love the outline and the placement. I'm pretty happy with this step down. I think it helps kind of nestle this build into a little nook here, which is cool. I did go ahead and move the villagers in, so we've got our Fletcher in here. We've got easy stick trades right there, which, you know, as we continue to chop down this spruce forest and build up this tree line, that's going to be really handy because we're going to end up with way more spruce wood than we know what to do with. And we can turn it into sticks and get emeralds, even though, you know, we've already gotten, what, 6 or 7 mending books, I think, from our Tavern keeper, Greg, which we should probably go say hi to. I might patent this, by the way. Just kidding. Someone has definitely thought of this before, but it turns out you can just use rugs to keep villagers in certain places. So I made this like a pass-through style bar entrance, and just this rug and this slab being 2 blocks up is enough to keep Greg right in his little happy home. Again, as I alluded to earlier, I don't think that a librarian is the most aesthetically accurate for a bartender. So we may end up changing Greg's appearance at some point, but for now, there's our mending book, 10 emeralds. Pretty good. We can now come into Greg's, say hi, talk about how our day went, maybe order a pint of Greg's famous brew. I feel like I alluded to what his drink was called in a previous episode, and I cannot remember. If you remember, let me know down in the comments. But yeah, it's pretty good. This tavern definitely needs some interior design. I haven't really come back. I did throw the windows in real quick. So look at that. That sand we mined in episode 1. Or maybe it was episode 2. Oh, I missed one. Well, close enough. Yeah, there's no windows upstairs either, so don't look at that. But yeah, I think I'm gonna throw one of the target blocks here, so it's like a dartboard on the wall. We need some more light. Obviously, it's very dark in here. Not very dark, but it needs a lamp somewhere to light up this region. So yeah, that's where we are right now. Pretty happy with how the path and the outside area is coming together too. I've started just throwing down some more oak trees here and there on the sides of the path to help load it in. I want to put more of this fencing along the edges of the path as well. I just feel like the fencing really helps frame it, and it gives the path that like 3rd dimension. Whereas if you just have like a significant amount of path blocks, so like right here, it starts to feel like the path is really flat to the ground. But by adding these fence posts along the edges of the path, it just helps kind of solidify it and raise it up into your perspective, if that makes sense. We obviously also want to mix in some coarse dirt and maybe some gravel or planks. I haven't decided exactly what palette I want to use for the pathway through here yet. So in contrast to this build, the second build, which we are not going to get completed this episode, but what's that? Oh, I can see through my torches. In contrast to this, I think we're going to go with a lighter log cabin, so we actually need birchwood, which apparently I never cut down a birch tree. Actually, let me go check. Yeah, look at that. We have some birch saplings. Okay, so we'll use these birch saplings. We'll grow up some birch wood and we'll use birch logs. And I think we'll do a similar style to this. So we'll do oak logs stripped with birch logs. Oh, the birch logs are going to be white though, actually. I'm going to have to think about that more. I'm going to have to strip the birch logs as well because they have that annoying bark texture. But anyway, I want to do a lighter cabin just to add a little bit more variety to the town. We went oak here as our like predominant trim color. We've got spruce here with slate, so it's very dark. And then we'll do a lighter build there. And then we'll start mixing in just some other smaller cabins throughout here and yeah, fill out the tavern a little bit. We actually produced quite a few villagers. I must have thrown those 2 villagers down here, a little extra food. If you notice, I threw up a couple oak trees to block this hideous monstrosity I've got going on down here for the villagers. Yeah, I walked in here to grab some stuff and I was like, oh crap, they had like 4 more villagers they had created. I should probably throw some more food in these guys to make more beds, but honestly, I'm probably going to build that cabin, a general store. So here's my outline for the rest of the town, I guess. Or at least what's in my brain so far. There's going to be the second cabin, which is going to be the lighter wood. There's going to be a general store, which I have not decided placement-wise. I'm thinking actually kind of kitty corner to the tavern here. Again, we're going to push this beach back some, so we'll probably raise this hill up and the general store will go here somewhere. And then I don't know what building I want to put across the street up here, but I think I need one more build. I don't know if a blacksmith makes sense in a wood-cutting town like this. I mean, I guess they're going to need to sharpen their axes, so maybe we do like some kind of grindstone heavy axe sharpening store here. We'll probably take this tree out, kind of raise this hill up a little bit, just so there's enough room tucked back here, and we're not perfectly in line with the tavern. So this will probably be some kind of axe sharpening blacksmith up here, kitty corner. When we push, again, we're going to carve this beach and we're going to level it up probably 2 tiers down like this. There'll be a nice big general store here, which will just be like, food and your typical supplies that you would need in a small town. And then, yeah, a couple more houses, and that's kind of my vision. My goal is to get all of this completed before episode 10, and that's, at least, I'm not going to say all of the detailing complete, because I just feel like you can never be done. Like, look at this. Every time you look at a build, you just kind of see different stuff where, like, see how flat this is at the top of this little lean-to that I made? I made the lean-to because this wall in general was kind of boring, but you still end up with this flat area where I couldn't quite figure out, because you couldn't do 2 logs here, and it would have made the interior look a little bit weird on this building. So yeah, we'll get some detailing done on all the buildings, and then I want to move on to a new location, just because we don't want to stick around in the same area for too long. It'll start to get boring. The next village I think I have decided will be the mining village, which we're going to go a little heavier in the stone probably, kind of move away from our wood blocks a little bit. And we may return here someday. We still have to build Corentus's water feature and his staircase down to the mines and this cool little bowl feature that we have behind the tavern. And there's some other stuff. I want to build something in this bay, and I've also mentioned a few times we want to build the docks, so we'll get those done too eventually. But I think that will be at a later date. Maybe we'll do, 10 episodes or so over in the iron area, and then maybe we'll come back and start fresh in this area. Just a thought, man, these iron golems, they're really spawning like crazy over here. I thought these only spawned when the villagers were scared, and I haven't seen any villagers be intimidated, but maybe if there's just zombies near their little enclosure, it spawns them? I mean, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 iron golems. We're gonna have to deal with that at some point. I was trying something out with these. Instead of using trapdoors as shutters, I thought maybe these would look interesting. The texture's kind of cool, and just, at a brief glance, if you're moving, it kind of works, but I don't think it's perfect. And then I didn't want to do planters because I just don't see rough and tumble woodcutters doing planters beside their windows. So I tried this like alternating staircase feature so that you'd end up with a bit of a windowsill here and then just, texture to fill in the rest of the area. A little bush here. I don't know what to do with this flat spot on the build, but another lean-to seemed silly. We may do maybe I should do like an outhouse. That'd be kind of funny. I wonder if I can pull off an outhouse in Minecraft. I don't know. We have to figure out something for this face, or just plant the tree really grows, which is what I kind of tried to do, is plant a couple trees to box it in. I grew the grass up a little bit, put a little rudimentary path to connect to the road. So yeah, that's all we've got time for this episode. If you made it this far, I appreciate you. Thanks for sticking around. Have a good one. Whew, Greg, I am tired. That was a lot of work today. I'll have a Greg's brew, please. No, I have not finished your room downstairs. Don't worry, it's on my list, Yes, there is a fiery portal to the underworld dimension sitting where I said your room was gonna go. I know, that wasn't part of the deal, but I had to put it somewhere, so that's where it is for now. I'm glad you're here, Greg. It's good to have someone to talk to.